this week in Delaware County as we are sitting here now in the lobby area of the Horizon Convention Center in downtown, the original Muncie. I'm Steve Lindell, and I know how to stay on message. Jay Julian with the Muncie-Delaware County Chamber of Commerce. Did you like how I did that?
I love that, Steve. Good morning, by the way.
Cheryl Crowder and Vicky Veach, very proud when I say it the right way.
You owe them money, Steve. Is that what
No, I owe them support. We sit down with the all things chamber once a month, and we could do this more often because there's a lot of things to talk about. Let's do some bullet points here for some from dates upcoming here later in January.
Yeah, we have the legislative update. It's that time of year, Steve. Of course, just earlier this past week, Governor Pence, State of the State, and launching into this budgetary session. It's an important session at the State House, budget cycle year that impacts all of us, and many folks directly in Muncie and Delaware County are actively lobbying our legislative team to try to bring dollars back into Muncie and Delaware County. Obviously, we're trying to advocate for that as well, and the legislative update is a way for citizens, community members, certainly chamber members and vision contributors to come and get really pretty personal and pretty close up with our legislative team and discuss things that they are interested in. It's not canned at all. The legislators will give a brief update of what's going on at the session, and then they'll open it up. We're really fortunate here, Steve. We have in Muncie and Delaware County a great group of folks that represent us, and they're pretty open, and they take questions and they answer sincerely and honestly. It's a good up-close and personal event.
Brenda Brumfield actually got a governor appointment. I think I read that. Do I have that name right?
Brenda is very engaged and in tune with all governmental aspects here. She's, of course, Brenda's our government relations person with the chamber. She's the lion's share of her career has been either directly or very closely indirectly engaged and involved in governmental affairs, and she's very in tune with our team and what they're working on.
Another date is February 3rd, not on the list here. I think that's the Rotary meeting, and I think if that's the day, that's when there will be a cake cutting planned for the sesquicentennial city of Muncie. Do I have that right?
You certainly do, and I'm glad you said that because I would have just said the 150th.
Everybody's doing that. I like the word sesquicentennial.
Yeah, I try to say it, but it takes me 2 or 3 times to get it correct. But yes, you're right. The sesquicentennial, first time, right? So on February 3rd at the Rotary, and then, of course, on the 4th, we'll be doing something at the Muncie on the Move, talking about the 150 years of Muncie. You actually will see that throughout the course of the year, Steve. It's a pretty exciting time.
You mentioned the legislative update, January 23rd. There is a more, I would call it more formal session of a dinner sort of a setting, February 18th. Explain the process there.
That is more formal. Actually, the legislative updates, like the one on the 23rd that you mentioned, Steve, are all here. Our legislators come back and meet with us here in Muncie. But we take one trip a year, open to all of our members, and go down to a very intimate and nice, more formal setting, as you described, a dinner with our legislative team. It's at the Columbia Club. We have a nice meal. We're meeting the legislators on their turf as they're down in Indianapolis. Meet with them there, and again, the agenda is it's pretty flexible. We're fortunate. Our legislators are pretty open with us, and we'll go down and talk about certain aspects of things that obviously we want to set forth on the agenda. But then we'll listen to them. What are they working on? What do they see? What do they anticipate coming? And that's almost a perfect time, Steve, because it's right about the midpoint of the legislative session. Again, a budget year, so we get a pretty good update in a very lovely and formal setting.
Again, that's February 18th. Now, you wear a suit and tie sort of a thing to that. Do not wear a suit and tie to the February 21st event, JJ.
You can wear.
Don't, please. Jack Surface will just absolutely bury you.
We might create a new award for that, Steve. The best dressed bowler at the Chamber Bowl.
What is the Chamber Bowl exactly? My phrase, please.
Well, your phrase is the Chamber Bowl is just like Chamber Cup, except we use bigger balls.
Exactly right. It's at Clancy's Village Bowl. Register team.
Should there be like a little C corporated or something?
I get residuals on that. I do. I got 25 cents right there. And that's a really fun event. There's an early bird discount. You have to do that pretty soon to get a rate break there. Then there's another legislative update scheduled in March, right?
Yeah, you can see, Steve, we have, especially in the budget year, which is every other year in Indiana, from January through the end of the budgetary session, we try to front load a lot of our legislative updates. It's an important time in Indiana from a lawmaker's perspective, and that impacts us here, whether you're a small business person of one or two sole proprietorship, or you have you're a Navient and you have 1,000 employees. It's an important time for us here, and so we try to get engaged at a very high level with our team. That's why we have 3 events during the budgetary cycle. By the way, Chamber Bowl, just to go back, it's filling up quickly. We've sold out the last, I think, 3 years, and it will sell out again this year. We don't have very many lanes left.
All right, we're getting into April now. Muncie-Delaware County Chamber of Commerce this week in Delaware County. Our guest, Julian. We're in the lobby area for our segment today. So if you hear somebody flush a toilet or something, that's why. Or dig a hole. We'll get to that in a second. There's a lot of fun going on in downtown, the original Muncie. Into April, I see another legislative update on the 10th. We don't want to talk about that again. Just know that date, please, April 10th here in Muncie. Reservations required on that. Also in April, the Muncie mayor told me that's when he plans to do his State of the City address. He did that here last year at the Horizon Convention Center. I think all indications are he's going to try and do it that way again.
Yeah, I haven't had that conversation with Mayor Tyler. I would presume that would be something he wants to do, but yeah, certainly something to be attuned to.
The amount of events that happen at this facility is really mind-boggling, and it's really getting ready to amp up even further when this hotel comes online. It changes the dynamics of downtown Muncie dramatically.
Yeah, you're right, Steve. But without all the activity that's going on, we're really fortunate here, not just in Muncie and Delaware County, but in East Central Indiana, the swath of the state, to have a facility like this. A week doesn't go by when we don't have people coming to talk to us at the Chamber or the Economic Development Alliance, and they walk in for the first time. They say, "Wow, I didn't know this was here. This is beautiful." Mm-hmm. And it is. You can just look around. It's dynamite space. There's always something going on, and you're spot on. The Arc of Indiana with their hotel, the Marriott coming in with 3 Wise Men restaurant. I mean, it will only bring more and more attention to this facility, which is great for Muncie and Delaware County.
This weekend there's a first-time ever event at the Horizon Convention Center for the Arc of Indiana fundraiser with Captain Stubing, as I called him earlier this week on the radio. Mayor Tyler is sort of the host of a neat fundraiser event, another one of those things that happens with hundreds expected, and Rialto coming up April 11th is one of those red-letter events. I know Chef Caleb is looking forward to that, and he always does. Now, let's talk about the smaller balls.
Yeah, it's the Chamber Cup is
it's like Chamber Bowl, isn't it?
It is only smaller.
But what?
Yes, only smaller.
Come on, you got to play along, Jay.
You crack me up every time you say that.
I know. It's turning red. I like it.
We are already planning for the Chamber Cup. Chamber Cup coming up in June. Obviously, it's one of our larger events, 2-day event at the Players Club again this year. We already are taking reservations for that. I know it's cold, snow on the ground, but pretty soon we're going to be hitting the smaller balls again, Steve. And,
very well
and
said.
yeah, and it's so get your team in now.
All right, and we'll give you contact information in just a moment. A couple of minutes left in our segment with Julian, Muncie-Delaware County Chamber of Commerce. Let's talk about the progress in downtown. If people just naturally, they get frustrated because they like things easy. I'm no different than anybody else. Try to stay positive on this, folks. This is really leading towards a bigger, brighter future for the city of Muncie, downtown and beyond. And there's plenty of signs, of parking. You can still use the facility with no problem. You just kind of think ahead a little bit.
No, you're right, Steve. And we understand that it gets frustrating from time to time, but the pains of construction activity lead to really good, cool things for all of us down the road. some of it, Steve, that's going on. Obviously, the hotel we've talked about and some of the other construction processes going on, and not just in the downtown area, but in Muncie and other parts of Delaware County in general, are good for all of us, right? But some of the major construction that you see going downtown now replaces decades and decades and decades of neglected repair to our infrastructure, and it's stuff that Steve, you and I won't see when it's done, but we'll be grateful that it was updated.
We need information, how to contact, the web, there's phone, there's face-to-face. Give them all that in the last minute.
You can find us all. It's chamber.com is the easiest way to get us. You can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, and even now LinkedIn, and I even still pick up the phone from time to time, Steve. It's 288-6681. We're pretty accessible. We love it when people stop in and say hi.
All right, Jay Julian, our guest this week in Delaware County. More in a moment.